The deal of Mikhail Mudryk to Arsenal is making more sense every other day that passes by. It has been confirmed by a journalist that is so close to this deal, and I'm going to bring you it in full details. Then not lastly guys, sorry about it. Then we are talking about Thomas Partey. What is the plan for Thomas Partey, Tomiyasu and Matana? What is Arsenal deciding for them? Are they going to join Arsenal in Doha immediately, or they are going to be given a break of some days to either really rest up and really do some reconditioning and obviously join the team of Arsenal? And lastly, we are talking Nuno Tavares and what Marseille is thinking about him on his loan that is there and granted by Arsenal for a one-year loan move to Marseille in League One. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? Where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Guys, smash the like button, comment and share, and obviously guys, endeavor to subscribe to this channel because we want to hit 9,000 subscribers, and we are now nearing 8,200 subscribers. So guys, continue to subscribe. And how do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner there is a black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. Another Arsenal player has been knocked out of the World Cup, that is Tomiyasu. Japan losing 3-1 on penalties to the side of Croatia. So Tomiyasu is out of the World Cup, and I'm going to throw more light on what he's going to be required to do by the Arsenal club after his knockout from the World Cup. So that is it, and let's get into the Mikhail Mudryk story. Obviously, in this juncture, wow, Dean Jones on Arsenal and Mudryk, he's told us that via the Give Me Sport every week the transfer makes more sense. Let's see if they are willing to front the cash. But one thing I would say is I'm not actually convinced that his price tag is genuinely dropping right about now. You see, this transfer makes a lot of sense to Arsenal. As I told you, that Arsenal is looking for a wide winger or a wide forward who is going to bring assists and goals to the club. In the previous video that I've just done of Arsenal crisis meeting that has been held in America, one of the factors that Mikel Arteta wants to address is to create chances for his number 9. That is Gabriel Jesus. Look at Man City. For them, it has been a culture that the number 9 doesn't suffer. It's always on the number 9. Remember when Raheem Sterling used to be played as a false 9 at Man City, even when he was playing as a wide forward, he could get close to 3 or 5 chances a game. He either scores 1 or scores 2 or doesn't even score at all, because chances were provided to him. This is the very huge task ahead of Mikel Arteta as he comes into the Christmas period, to see to it that he goes ahead to compete with Man City. If Arsenal is to compete with Man City, they need to find their centre forward lots of chances, and at Arsenal it's vice versa. The players of Arsenal that are around Gabriel Jesus are the ones supposed to be creating him chances, but it's Gabriel Jesus creating them chances and them they're having even more goals than him. That's something that should be turned around. It should be either way. You get? They should be creating goals for Gabriel Jesus, and Gabriel Jesus should be scoring, and then Gabriel Jesus should just do creating chances for them as an extra job. But the main job of Gabriel Jesus is to see to it that he gets Arsenal goals, provided chances have been given to him. Most of the goals that Gabriel Jesus is going to have to score this season are not all that clear-cut chances. I remember his first 2 goals. The one against Leicester City, you know, it was really individual brilliancy. The corner, the set piece, you can't score that every day. The third one was it against Bournemouth? The fourth, he scored against Tottenham Hotspur. The fifth was a header against Brentford. And that header, you cannot guarantee that every day it's going to go all into the back of the net. And it's not a clear-cut chance, not until he uses his neck power to really pull it and obviously direct the ball in the back of the net. So I believe the players around Gabriel Jesus have not done enough to create him chances. That's it. And this is why this deal of Mykhailo Mudryk is making sense every week. Reason being, he has goals in him, and the creativity that he comes with at the club of Arsenal is really immense. And Dean Jones is confirming to us that he doesn't believe, or is not convinced, his price tag is genuinely dropping right now. It said that maybe £60 million, between 50 and 60 million pounds, Shakhtar Donetsk will go on and sell this player, though sometimes they said 100, of which I believe it's really a lie, because no team can pay 100 million pounds for Mykhailo Mudryk. Do you know why? There is no bidding war for him. There is no bidding war for him. All teams are like pulling out of this, reason being the player came out and indicated his interest to go on and play for Arsenal. There is nothing he wants else apart from Arsenal. Mykhailo Mudryk wants only and only Arsenal. That's why he wants to go on and play. So I believe what makes it hard to sign a player like Mykhailo Mudryk is Arsenal taking long to sign him. Secondly, teams fighting for him. And thirdly, the player showcasing a lot of potential. What boxes has Mykhailo Mudryk ticked? I think showcasing a lot of potential. But for Arsenal, they are going to delay and take their time, I believe, because they want to play what we call the delaying game. Shakhtar Donetsk will come out and say, all right, 50 million euros or pounds, come for the player. Because time is going to come when the player wants to go and they have nothing to do with him. And very many other players are going to come in, be available in the summer. So they need to make a decision that is financial and good for the player. So the sporting director of Shakhtar Donetsk coming out arrogantly and hitting out at 100 million euros that Mykhailo Mudryk is at the level of Kylian Mbappe and Neymar, that is out. We've seen very many exciting players. We've seen very many exciting players that have become or that have been playing even at a high level, but go on and flop. Look at Eden Hazard. By the time he was at Chelsea, everyone thought that he was the heir to the throne of Messi and Ronaldo. But things went the wrong way. Ever since he went to Madrid, he has not even scored, 15 goals for the years he has spent there. Bought expensively, he's earning a salary of £410,000 a week. But there is no impact he has added to the team of Real Madrid. Very many players, we've seen them. We've seen huge players playing at huge levels. There is Draxler. By the time Draxler hit the ground running, everyone thought that Draxler was the next big thing. He went to PSG and things didn't go the right way. You get? Look at Arsenal itself. They know the problem of Pepe. Pepe had a very huge potential. His ceiling was really high. The trajectory of his performances was really amazing. Arsenal went in and bought him at £73 million. Look at what happened. He failed to match the levels of the amount of money he was bought. So, and right now, he's loaned at Nice, where he's playing. And Arsenal are really planning to get rid of him. I believe it's really, 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 really bad that Shakhtar Donetsk are really doing to say that this player is 100 million euros. And the player came out verbally and said he would love to have a move in January. And Mykhailo Mudryk knows it. If he doesn't make a move in January, it's going to be hard for him to get to Arsenal in the summer. Arsenal will be having different plans. Very many players would have germinated onto the world level. And Arsenal is having a very wide scope of scouting. Like they scouted Mudryk in the summer, they would have scouted very many more other players to go in and get the job done. You get? And Mykhailo Mudryk comes in not as a priority because Arsenal has players like Pedro Neto under their surveillance. There is Gerard Bowen. They're having Leroy Sane. I've seen a story of Leroy Sane today. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. Very many other players that have gone ahead to prove their worth and potential at the world stage. So let no one lie to you about Mudryk's price. I believe it's going to go out and really get down. It's dropping. It's going to drop. Do you know why? He's not in the Champions League. He's not in the World Cup. If Mudryk was in the World Cup like Cody Gakpo and playing for Ukraine and putting in those performances, obviously it would have been a different case altogether. But him not being the World Cup, out of the Champions League, is going to play in the UEFA Europa League, his price has to drop. That's it. If it doesn't drop, then what's the reason? What's the reason of putting 100 million euros as a price tag on Mykhailo Mudryk? That's out, and I believe the transfer makes a lot of sense to Arsenal because of what the player is going to add to the Arsenal side. But I don't believe that amount of money they are talking of, that it won't drop. I believe it will drop, and that's what I have in my mind. That is a player who was by the names of Mykhailo Mudryk. Now, Ghana was a team that was knocked out recently from the group stages, and they never crossed to what we call the they never dropped to what we call the round of 16. And the team that knocked them out, I think it was Uruguay, but Uruguay also never made it to the round of 16 because South Korea went ahead to beat Spain by 2-1. Hence, Spain leading the group and South Korea qualifying to play Brazil right now in a game that is going to start in the next 1 or 2 minutes. That is a team which goes on in Brazil. Now, Thomas Partey, after being knocked out, we first got a story that was brought to us by Frank Dawa, a Ghanaian sports journalist, telling us that Thomas Partey will travel directly to Dubai, join Arsenal squad for the warm weather training camp tomorrow. That's what he told us. But obviously today we've gotten another big story concerning Arsenal players returning from the World Cup, and it reads that Arsenal have granted Thomas Partey and Matt Turner a period of rest and recovery following participation at the World Cup. Same will apply to any other player knocked out of the tournament. Ghana's face Lyon on the 8th of December, AC Milan on the 13th of December in Dubai before returning to London on 14th December to play a huge game between Juventus on the 17th of December as they prepare for their game against Nottingham Forest. I believe they are going to take the United model, and I was so much surprised when this story was not really put out earlier before to give or to put the Arsenal players in the know that they have to be given some days of rest after the World Cup. For Manchester United, they are giving their players 7 days off. 7 days off. Meaning that even if they're having players that are really going to go on and play in the finale of the World Cup on the 18th, they return to the club on 27th. So I believe Arsenal are going to give Thomas Partey a 7-day rest. And I believe they were knocked out was it last, I think towards the end of last week. I think it was Friday. Was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday. That's when they're knocked off, meaning that by the end of this week, Thomas Partey and Matt Turner would have joined Arsenal. The same applies to Tomiyasu Tokohiro, who has been knocked out today by by Croatia has been knocked out today, meaning that he's going to join the team of Arsenal, I think, by the end of this week. I think by Sunday or Monday, he is going to be joining Arsenal. So let's wait and see what's going to be happening between Arsenal and its players. But it's good to see to it that the club has come out and clarified that these players need a rest and they will join them. That means these players might miss out the first game that Arsenal is going to play against a team which goes by the names of AC Milan, Lyon on the 8th of December, because very few can make it to the 8th of December. I think Thomas Partey can make it, but I don't believe they will put him in the match immediately. That's it. But I believe that game on 13th December, obviously Tomiyasu will be available, Partey will be available, obviously Matt Turner will be available to get it done for their club of Arsenal. So I believe those three are really going to see themselves into contention to go on and really play a very huge role for Arsenal in those friendlies. Then lastly, let's talk about this exciting left back of Arsenal. Most people don't love him, especially Arsenal fans, but if at all you appreciate talent, you have to be loving this player. Nuno Tavares is one of those players that came in at Arsenal in the summer of 2021, signed for Arsenal, obviously like 5 years contract given to him. Exciting going forward, just erratic defensively, caused Arsenal to swallow some good number of goals in the game of Everton, in the game of Liverpool, and in the game of Manchester United. So that really forced the manager to really throw him out of the team. But this guy doesn't stop being explosive and being adventurous, especially when he's having that ball. His threat going forward is more a notice than the way he really defends. But I believe he just needed to go out at a club that really knows him better to train him on how to balance the two, the offensive and the defensive. That's it. To be so much comfortable, as they loaned Saliba to Marseille, and he turned out to be one of the best players. Obviously, Nuno Tavares is one of those players that Arsenal is loaning to Marseille, and is having a very fantastic season. In his first 3 games, he had close to 3 goals this season, and he was really pivotal. He's really pivotal into the season of Marseille in the League One. Now, Marseille consultant Jean-Charles Di Bono on Nuno Tavares, he said, "I didn't really know him when he arrived. I was waiting to see him, and I was pleasantly surprised by his quality of speed, dribbling, crosses, and shots." So I've come out and said this, and in the summer reminded me this. Kieran Tierney is going to be sold out of Arsenal. Even himself will like a move away from Arsenal. Do you know why? He's not being played as he's supposed to be played. The manager is going to have to show us that he even trusts Tomiyasu to start as a left back for Arsenal when Tomiyasu is 100% fit. Did you see it any season before? What does that confirm to you? That Arsenal are coming to the end with Kieran Tierney, and they are coming to start with Nuno Tavares. They loaned Tavares to Marseille because Marseille looked well after their 2 players, Guendouzi and Saliba. Guendouzi right now is the World Cup. He's at the World Cup with France. Though they sold him at £9.5 million, they had an option to buy. It was a loan with an option to buy, and the buyout clause was £9.5 million. For Saliba, there was no option to buy. It was only a loan, and obviously returning to Arsenal is really doing wonders for the club of a team which goes by the names of Arsenal. So guys, thank you very much for watching it through. I believe Tavares is going to return at Arsenal to play that left back position with Zinchenko. According to me, they just wanted him to go out there, gain the experience, get used to playing in top level football matches, and know how to balance the two, the defensive and the offensive parts of the game. So guys, what are your thoughts for Mykhailo Mudryk's deal to Arsenal being very sensible every week that passes by? Secondly, what do you think about the break that has been given to the players of Arsenal that have been knocked out of the World Cup? That is Thomas Partey, Tomiyasu, and Matt Turner. Do you think they would have rejoined their Arsenal players in Dubai for the warm weather training camp? And lastly, what do you think about Nuno Tavares? A very senior personnel at Marseille is telling us that he is really good. His dribbling, his crosses, and his entire talent is really great. Your reactions are welcome in the comment section below. Rokani remains my name. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the subscription button. After hit the notification bell, that enable you get notified every time I upload a video on this channel. I hand you over to the Almighty Lord. Thank you. I'm out for now. See you later. I'm returning, I think, with the match reaction of Brazil versus South Korea, and obviously we will close the day later with another good story coming in from either Arsenal, as the players are taking down training in Dubai. I'm out.